Um, So, hi everyone. אני אעשה את הוובינר, בגדול זה יהיה באנגלית, אם יש איזה שהם בעיות בעברית או בעיות של תרגום, כי אני לא רוצה סתם לדחוף תרגום איפה שלא צריך, בגדול הדברים מובנים, אבל איפה שעדיין יש שאלות, אתם מוזמנים לשאול דרך הצ'אט, גם בזמן ההרצאה וגם בסוף, ואני אעלה את השאלה בפני החברים שלנו מה-AGRC. So, hi everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. I'm very excited to present my guest from the Association of Governance, Risk and Compliance. So, as you might know, I am Idan Levy, founder and CEO at Mitigate, a financial crime expert with over 20 years of experience handling both financial crime compliance and regulatory compliance matters from the banking system. In this unique webinar, we will dive into the purpose and activities of the AGRC, the fastest growing GRC community based in London, UK, and get to know their online training programs in various subjects that are now offered in Israel via the Mitigate online training platform. So let me introduce them to you. My guests are Marios Siatas and Matteo Jarinkuvi. Marios Siatas is the CEO of the European Institute of Management and Finance and one of the founders of the Association of Governance, Risk and Compliance. He has over 25 years of experience in executive education, learning and development with a strong focus on compliance, corporate governance and financial regulations. Mario serves as a board member in the Institute of Directors UK, Cyprus branch, the Charter Institute of Securities and Investments, the Training and HR Committee of the Cyprus International Fund Association, and of course, the Association of Certified Anti-Money Laundering Specialists, what is called ACAMS. And my other guest is Matteo Jarinkuvi. Matteo is a global manager for partnerships and media in the AGRC. And during his 25 years career, Matteo Jarinkuvi has played important roles in a wide area of industry. And today he leads the charge of the Association of Governance, Risk and Compliance, establishing strategic partnerships, promoting the association's work and liaising with members and partner organization. So Mario and Matteo, thank you guys very much for joining us today. I'll pass it on to you in a minute. As I said, questions at the end. If you have questions during the presentation of Matteo and Marius, you can write them in Hebrew to me in the chat and I will bring them to Mario and Matteo. And having said that, Marius and Matteo, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Go ahead.
Matteo, just to say hi myself, hi to everyone. Matteo is going to do the most part of the presentation. I'll be here to support with any questions at the end. Happy to be here. Happy to be working with you, Aidan. Thank you very much for organizing this. And happy to be working with a community of governance risk compliance professionals, which is always a pleasure. As we know, our sector is very challenging at times. Things change overnight. We all have to deal with different regulations and different regimes and different jurisdictions, different things here and there. We're definitely here to support that and happy to be here. Thank you very much for the introductions and everything, Matteo.
Thank you. Thank you also, Eden, for the invitation and for everyone who's here with us today. Basically, the plan is to just sort of introduce you to AGRC, who we are, what we do, what is our membership like, and also walk you through the 7 level 3 certifications that we have. So just, as a starting point, just to tell you a little bit about AGRC and who we are a global nonprofit professional accreditation and certification organization. We're also a networking community or platform with members across the globe. And we were founded in 2020. We really started operations in 2021. And I think what's going to be of most interest and I guess importance in this session is, the fact that we have developed a series of level 3 professional qualifications on topics including AML, ESG principles and standards, KYC CDD, compliance, risk management, corporate governance, and sanctions compliance. We also have a series of diplomas whereby if you combine 4 of these different qualifications, you can get a diploma. We have a diploma in governance, risk, and compliance, which essentially consists of the certificates in compliance, governance, risk management, and ESG. And then we also have a diploma in financial crime prevention, which consists of the certificates in AML, KYC, CDD, compliance, and sanctions compliance. Most importantly, all of these 7 certificates have been approved and accredited by the London Institute of Banking and Finance in the UK, which is a full-credited academic institution, university operating in the United Kingdom. So they have a seal of approval from LIBF. In terms of our members, in terms of our makeup as an organization, currently we have about more than 4,700 members. From more than 70 jurisdictions with a very heavy presence in the UK, the European Union, and the Middle East, Northern Africa region. Our members are professionals in compliance, AML, onboarding services, risk management, legal, customer relations functions, etc. Of course, I mean, we do have some certificates that sort of go beyond that, because we do have certificates, for example, in ESG and corporate governance and risk management, which might be applicable to people outside of the financial services. So we do have, some members that are in IT, transportation, energy, real estate, healthcare, etc. So it's a pretty broad sort of selection of professionals, but primarily I would say that, most of them would be operating within the financial services sector across the globe. Now to get into the sort of the nitty-gritty of this presentation and to kind of provide you with a more in-depth look at our different certificates. The level 3 certificates basically target, I would say, 3 different groups of professionals. On the one hand, you might have recent graduates who, are maybe a few years into their professional careers. They might have just graduated from university and they're looking to enter the governance, risk, and compliance space. Maybe they want to, get into financial crime prevention and they want to do AML. Maybe they want to, look at ESG issues. So basically, this is one of our target audiences. The other target audience would be mid-level career professionals who might be looking for a change or a different opportunity in these areas. So you might have, I don't know, an accountant or a lawyer who after 20 years has decided that, they're fed up with accounting and the law and they want to, get into compliance or AML. And this would serve, like any of these certificates would serve as a good transition into, this new sort of profession or this new sort of area. And last but not least, we have, senior professionals, managers, team leaders who focus on these areas, who simply want to validate their knowledge and say, okay, yes, I have 30 years of experience in AML. I don't have any certificate and I just want that piece of paper that says, here, my knowledge is there. It's validated by AGRC, by LIBF. So that's basically, it's a pretty broad spectrum in terms of, who our certificates are for. One of the things that we said from the get-go as we started AGRC is that, we saw there was space in the market for a certificate or for a series of professional qualifications that would be as affordable and as inclusive as possible. And that's sort of our ethos as an association. So we try to keep prices, low compared to other certificates out in the market. We are very sort of flexible when it comes to giving out discounts. And we want to actually create a space where, professionals in the GRC space across the globe, in any corner of the world, can actually have access to, both very high-level professional qualifications and also, a community where they can actually exchange ideas, generate thought leadership, etc. In terms of how the certificates are delivered, they can be completed as a self-paced online with our official partner like Mitigate CRM. We have basically created an entire sort of learning management system for Mitigate CRM. I'm going to show this to you towards the end of the presentation, whereby you can just go on there, you can select a certificate of your choice, you can purchase directly from there and start doing the course right then and there. It's all self-paced e-learning. We also have some instructor-led courses, which, at some point, I think Eden and his team will start offering those later on down the road. But that's something that, we have worked with many different organizations who want to do something that is instructor-led, whether it's live online or in person, for their clients. The training programs, they range between 15 to 25 hours to complete. And each one includes a 40 or 50 question exam at the end that you have to basically pass to complete to get certified essentially. And participants, as part of these bundles that we provide, have 2 attempts to pass the exam. Also, the certificate will include 1 year of free membership to AGRC, and then basically after that 1 year, there's going to be a membership fee, a token, sort of a very affordable membership fee that you would have to pay to retain your membership as part of AGRC. So let me tell you a little bit about the advantages, I guess, or the USPs of AGRC certificates. First of all, we have a suite of comprehensive GRC certificates that will equip you with foundational knowledge, skills, and tools required to do many different things, whether it's to identify financial crime and prevent it from happening within your organization, or whether it will help you, comply with the rapidly shifting global regulatory environment. As I mentioned earlier, also, we have these all-inclusive bundles. So basically, you're not going to have any sort of additional costs. At the cost of £750, you will get basically the study handbook. You'll get the video and text-based training program. You'll get the exam fees, and you get 2 chances to pass exam. And you will get also the 1-year membership to AGRC. That's priced at £750. I know that Eden and his team are going to be offering you a 20% discount up until the end of June, in case you're interested. So that will drop the price to £600 as part of this sort of introduction into the Israeli market. Again, that goes case in point. I mean, it goes with our affordable pricing models that falls in line with this ethos that I have been mentioning about being affordable and inclusive industry body. In terms of the content, we'll look at the content more specifically a bit later, but in terms of the content, it's all globally focused. So it's not UK specific, it's not US specific, it's global in nature, and it's going to look at regulatory frameworks and content that is applicable to, the entire world. It's all up to date. Most of our certificates get updated on a biannual basis. So once every 2 years, we're going to be updating that. It includes case studies, it includes ongoing assessments that have all been developed by subject matter experts and industry practitioners. We have a very large roster of trainers and compliance consultants and academics who have helped us develop all of this material that is now available to you. In terms of the training program, it is interactive. It can be completed at your own pace and schedule from wherever you are in the world. So you can basically book the training now and start it, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in a month. Generally, we require the program to be completed in 3 months, but we are very flexible, again, when it comes to giving out extensions, knowing that, you're all very busy professionals that, you might not be able to complete it in 3 months and might need an additional 3 months to complete those. The exams are all remotely proctored via an independent third-party examination center, which ensures transparency and reliability. So UCAP, which is our examination partner, they will handle all the exams. So we have no sort of control over the exams, no sort of involvement there. Of course, we design the exam questions and everything else, but they handle the delivery and the grading and whatnot. Now let's look a little bit more in depth into the 7 certificates that we have. The first one that I want to bring attention to is the certificate in compliance. This will basically provide you with, compliance fundamentals from, identifying regulatory requirements to fostering compliant behaviors across your organization. You'll look at critical elements such as risk assessment, program management, and also several real-world case studies that will help you master compliance strategies. Some of the key topics that are included under this certificate include, the importance of compliance programs, what is the regulation's role and market forces, compliance functions as part of the boards, the chief compliance officers, the different departments. You will look at the interplay of ethics, governance, and compliance. You also have a brief component on financial crime prevention and AML, and you'll also look at risk management and enforcement. It's very comprehensive. Basically, when I speak to professionals who are looking into getting into the governance, risk, and compliance space, I always suggest or recommend to start with this one, because this is more like the umbrella sort of certificate that will touch upon, financial crime issues. It will touch upon risk management issues. It'll touch upon some corporate governance issues. So this will provide you with a feel for the sector. So, a young recent graduate who's looking to get into it, this is probably what I would recommend as a starting point. And then based on, what they experience and what they learn and what they enjoy most from, the content provided in the certificate in compliance, then they can sort of branch out and do AML or ESG or something along those lines. Then if we start getting into the more specific programs, our next sort of most popular one would be the certificate in anti-money laundering. This will help you develop expertise in combating money laundering by exploring, methods, red flags, strategies that are used globally to identify and prevent such illicit financial activities. Again, there are a lot of case studies, a lot of practical frameworks for AML compliance, across different key perspectives. So legal, regulatory, economic, enforcement, etc. Some of the key topics covered here. Also, I want to let you know that we have syllabi that are a lot more in depth for all of these certificates, and I'm sure Eden can provide those to you if you're interested, or you can email us and say, I want to see the syllabus for the certificate AML, where you get a full breakdown of what's included in the certificate. But for example, here you're going to look at money laundering techniques and red flags. You'll look at AML compliance best practices, checklists. You'll look at KYC, CDD. You will look at PEPs, politically exposed persons. You look at beneficial ownership issues. You'll touch upon a little bit into economic sanctions and political frameworks, AML vulnerabilities within the financial institution sector, legal frameworks, and again, a lot of in-depth case analysis. Then you have the KYC, the certificate in KYC CDD. This one generally I suggest to a lot of, let's say, recent graduates or people who are looking to get into, an onboarding role within a financial institution or with a fintech or with, a crypto exchange, etc. This is generally what I would pitch to them, or what I would suggest that they pursue first. This will essentially help you elevate your expertise in KYC and CDD issues, know your client and customer due diligence, which will help you basically effectively assess client risk, help you comply with global AML and counter financial terrorism regulations. Again, relies a lot on case studies, on how to manage high-risk situations and ensure compliance. The key topics, it will look at know your client, know your customer principles and their importance. It will look at customers' due diligence role in mitigating risk. It will help you build and manage effective CDD programs for your organization, how to handle high-risk cases and maintain compliance records. And again, you look at real-world insights from 7 AML case studies across this entire program. The certificate in corporate governance, this one, as I mentioned earlier, this is more sort of general in nature. It does apply to financial institutions, but it can be seen as something that's applicable to, all organizations, across all industries. And in this case, you'll basically develop expertise in corporate governance to navigate the complex challenges related to this topic and build resilient structures for effective leadership within your organization. You'll learn the basic theories or essential theories, the practices, the strategies that will allow you to enhance board effectiveness and drive sustainable success for your organization. Some of the key topics, again, ethics. Ethics plays a very significant role in this corporate governance certificate. You look at agency and stakeholder theories. You look at the benefits of strong governance practices. You look at board responsibilities, the composition of the boards, the creation of different committees within the boards. You look and see how you can best evaluate and improve your board's performance. And of course, you're going to look at diversity, equity, and inclusion. You look at CSR, corporate social responsibility. You look at ESG and other sustainability considerations. Then we have the certificate in sanctions compliance. This is very, very source specific that focus strictly on international economic sanctions. So you do have some professionals who, for example, they operate within strictly a sanctions department for a financial institution or for another organization, and this would be key for them to go through. You basically gain comprehensive insights into economic sanctions. You'll be exploring global trends, legal frameworks. You'll see the key players when it comes to, doling out international economic sanctions. And you'll also develop tools, so it's practical in nature, and the strategies to manage the risks and to build effective compliance programs to comply with, some of these sanctions regulations that are out and about. Key topics, you'll do definitions, you'll do scopes, you'll do the different categories. You look at the legal institutional frameworks, whether it's international, multilateral, or unilateral sanctions. You look at some of the recent developments and their impact on business. You'll also look at sanctions compliance and how to handle risk management, how to handle screening, how to handle evasion mitigation. And you'll have a lot of practical case studies, again, on sanctions motives and their effects on, the international economic sort of arena. Last, we have 2 more. Okay. Then we have the certificate in ESG principles and standards. Again, this one is more general in nature, so it's applicable to industries outside of the financial industries. We have a lot of, for example, clients in Denmark who work in a very wide array of industries who have been pursuing the ESG principles and standard certificates with AGRC. Again, the goal here is to essentially master ESG principles to then develop and implement effective sustainable strategies for your organization. You're going to gain insights into compliance, reporting standards, and global initiatives that are happening within the ESG space. Some of the key topics that you'll cover include stakeholder theory and CSR versus ESG distinctions. You look, of course, at the key ESG pillars in a very sort of in-depth way: environment, social, and governance. You look at green finance and sustainable investment practices. There'll also be a section on the business case for CSR, ESG, and sustainability. You look at many of the different global initiatives that are happening within the space. So the Paris Agreement, the European Green Deal, UK Green Finance Strategy. And of course, you look at some of the upcoming reporting frameworks and investing strategies within this space. Last but not least, we have the certificate in risk management. Again, this is one of those that is very, very sort of more general in nature and can be applied to a lot of different industries. This is probably the most robust program we have. I mean, the study handbook is close to 200 pages, and it's a very, very in-depth look at risk management. You will develop expertise in risk assessment, treatment, reporting through a blend of, again, theoretical knowledge, sort of academic knowledge, and practical case studies. It will help strengthen your ability to manage uncertainty and build a risk-aware culture within your organization. Some of the key topics covered here are your core principles and definitions of risk management. You'll look at the ISO 31000 risk management framework and processes. You'll look at the risk and opportunity matrix. You'll look at cost, benefits, and limitations of risk management, foundations of COSO ERM integrated frameworks, and strategies to manage uncertainty and foster a risk-aware culture. It's very, very comprehensive program, and I can, again, I can provide you with a syllabi for this or any of the other programs that you might be interested in. So feel free to reach out to ourselves or to Eden, and we'd be happy to pass those along. Those are our certificates. That's sort of the academic, professional qualification side of things. Then, as I mentioned earlier, we do have our community of members. We do have our network of professionals who have either pursued one of these certificates or who have joined just to exchange ideas with other members, to gain from the different webinars that we do, from a lot of the thought leadership sort of projects we do, white papers from our partners or from ourselves, etc. So let me just go over a little bit of these sort of membership benefits. We have an entire sort of members area for our members. We call it a mini LinkedIn for our members, where basically you can connect with other GRC professionals. You can post articles, photos, job openings. You can participate in forum discussions and specialized interest groups. You can promote and register for events. You can earn CPD credits, etc. One thing we have done very successfully with events is we have partnered up with events throughout the globe, whereby we promote those events to our members, and in return our members will get a discount. So there's discounts going from 10 to 30% for events that happen throughout the world. We said from the get-go that we're not going to be event organizers. We're going to leave that to the professionals. We will have some events here and there, but it's not something that we're going to do on a regular basis. But basically, we've partnered up with all these events to provide that extra sort of benefit to our members in the sense of, they might even get speaking slots. They might get, they'll get the discounts to the events, etc. We have our knowledge platform. This includes webinars, interviews, event transcripts, industry-specific documents, articles, research materials, and more. This is all available to our members. We do have our blog, which is called the Compliance Digest, whereby you're going to have it's a repository of news in the GRC space, and there we basically promote all of these events I have been discussing. We have a series of interviews with our members, and we have press releases from our partners, and we have just news that is happening, that is trending, and articles on topics that are trending in the GRC space. As I mentioned earlier, we have those exclusive discounts to conference. We have networking opportunities with peers from all over the globe via online conference, regional live symposiums and workshops. You get to use a professional designations if you're a member. So you have a student member, you have an associate member, you have a professional member, you have a fellow member, and then you have a corporate member. So all of these, if you become a member or you get certified by AGRC, you can use one of these professional designations. You could access our online member directory. So for example, if you're looking for a professional who is in Singapore, you might go in there and find someone who, can help you out with, some Singaporean regulatory issues that you're concerned about or that you're looking into. And you'll have opportunities to sponsor a wide array of AGRC events and activities. So all of this basically, and in terms of the professional qualifications that I have gone through, these are all going to be offered on Mitigate's CRM's platform. Here are just a few screenshots of how the platform looks. So as a Mitigate CRM client or contact or part of their network, you will be able to access your course materials via the organization's own LMS platform found here. This is how it's going to look. I'm sure that Eden will share the link with all of you at some point. But basically, this is, for all of Mitigate CRM's clients. I mean, they can very easily go on here, create an account, and basically purchase the online e-learning materials for any of AGRC's certificates. I think that brings me to the end of the presentation. I kind of flew through it. I want to make sure that, I left enough time for questions. Here are our contact details. You can check out our website at www.agrc.org. You can write us at info@agrc.org, and happy to answer any questions you might have, etc. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to, I think, open up the floor to any questions you might have. Marius is here too, also to help with his experiences. He's one of the founders. He was here from the beginning, and he can provide his input too.
Great. So thank you very much, Matteo and Marius. I have a question in the chat, and that I will ask in a minute. I just want to recap everything in Hebrew, like for a few seconds. אוקיי, אז יש לנו כאן תעודות, יש לנו תעודות הסמכה בינלאומיות שאפשר לעשות אותן מהמחשב האישי שלכם. לא צריך להגיע לאיזשהם קורסים, המבחן נעשה אונליין דרך חברה שלישית, ויש להם מגוון שלם של תעודות. אז יש בנושא של compliance, שזה כאילו משהו מאוד מאוד רחב, יש בנושא של AML, מה שאתם מכירים, איסור הלבנת הון, שככה יותר יורדים לאסנצ'יילס של הלבנת הון, כלפי מוסדות פיננסיים ומוסדות מפוקחים, דריל דאון לנושא של KYC ו-CDD, גם כן, זה משרת את כולם, כל מי שמתעסק ב-financial landscape, זה יעניין אותו וזה רלוונטי, וזה הרבה טרנדים ודברים חדשים וטיפולוגיות שכבר הוכנסו פנימה. יש בממשל תאגידי, מה שנקרא corporate governance, זה מתאים לכולם, גם כן מאוד מאוד רחב, sanctions compliance, לאלה מכם שהם בגופים הפיננסיים וגם גופים עסקיים, שרוצים בסך הכל לחדד את ההבנה בנושא של סנקציות, זה דבר שהוא נורא קיבל תנופה בשנים האחרונות, וזה סיכון מאוד מאוד רציני, אז סנקציות כמובן מאוד מאוד חשוב. ESG, גם כן, זה דבר שהוא נורא חדש, הוא קורה ממש בשנים האחרונות, ויש לכם כאן אפשרות ליצור התמחות בתחום החדש והצומח הזה, בעצם בצורה בלתי אמצעית, דרך הפלטפורמה של מיטיגייט וה-AGRC, וככה לקבל גם תעודה בינלאומית בתחום הזה. כמובן, ריסק מנג'מנט, ניהול סיכונים, זה התחום הכי רחב שיש, יש שם המון חומרים, המון מידע שקשור לתחום הזה ולאופן ניהול הסיכונים. כמובן שהכל מוכר בינלאומי, זאת אומרת שאתם הולכים בחול, אתם יכולים גם לעבוד עם הדבר הזה בחול. החברות בארגון של ה-AGRC, הממברשיפ, מה שנקרא, מביא לכם בעצם נטוורקינג מאוד מאוד גדול, עם אנשים שהם like-minded, אנשים שהם peers, מה שנקרא, עמיתים שלכם במקומות אחרים. כמו שמתאו אמר, אם מישהו מסינגפור, אתם רוצים לחפש איזה מומחה מסינגפור, שהוא ב-AGRC, אז אתם יכולים לחפש אותו, וגם אותו מומחה מסינגפור יכול למצוא אתכם, כשאתם חברים, ואז יש המון שיתופי פעולה, זה סוג של שפה משותפת, ועוד דבר אחרון, one last thing, מתאו, I'm sorry, יש לנו, כמו שמתאו אמר, אנחנו לרגל ההשקה מציעים בעצם, אם אתם תיכנסו לאתר של מיטיגייט, תחת מיטיגייט אונליין טריינינג, יש שם את כל תוכניות הלימוד, יש שם מחירים, ואנחנו מציעים 20% השקה בעצם למי שנרשם עד סוף יוני, 20% הנחה על המחירים שמופיעים באתר. מניסיון שלי, התעודות האלה, קודם כל הן עונות אקדמית על כל הדרישות הבינלאומיות, אבל יותר מזה, הן יותר משתלמות מבחינה פיננסית. אני יודע את זה כי גם אני מכיר את הסמכות של ACAMS, ועשיתי אותה כבר, אז זה ככה הרבה יותר cost effective, מה שנקרא. אז I have a question with your permission, Matteo. So people are asking, what are the relative advantages of studying the AGRC Institute compared to the ICA? So I would say my answer and hand it over to you if you have anything. So basically there are many organizations about compliance, and I think that what characterizes best the AGRC is they allow you to study in your own time through your computer and take the test, and it's in very cost-effective prices. So this is I think my advantages. But Matteo, you want to add your reference?
Marius, you want to jump in? Or should
Look,
I take it?
since yes, I'll say a few words as well then in relation to this question as well. And obviously there is ICA out there, which has been there for some years now, and a lot of other, and some other relatively newer bodies as well. What we can say is all about us, and if we're comparing directly with the ICA, I would say that the offering that AGRC has is better in terms of a value, is overall value. I feel that our value is better. I mean, Matteo just mentioned a lot of times the ethos of AGRC in relations to being a non-for-profit and offering better prices and better opportunities. We do offer two exam sittings with one price. So if for some reason, a lot of times you're penalized even because you had a bad day, because sometimes people, and I've been in education for 25 years and I can say that with very confidence, I don't see any reason why charge on a second exam take, it's you had a bad day, you didn't pass your exam, take it a second time free, why charge you another sitting, Even though there is a cost to us, with UCAP, we're still offering it as a second free. As far as the content is concerned, I would say that our content is a bit more, not a bit, I would say a bit more than a bit global compared to the ICA. I mean, ICA was established in the UK as we have, but I do find their content to be a bit more in some areas UK heavy, where the AGRC, it's been established in the UK with a global aspiration from day one. So we have used a lot of associates, content writers who are placed in different parts of the world. So we take that input and we have make sure the content curriculum is more global and more robust and more applicable to other jurisdictions. So these are, I think, are the two major differences. And the third one is the membership aspect. I have been a member of ICA. I have been a member of many other associations. I think that AGRC's team, Matteo and his team that supports the membership, they do a lot for the members. The membership fee is not that much. The annual membership fee is not as expensive as some of the global associations out there. I'm not saying ICA has an expensive membership fee, because they don't. I mean, it's a bit higher than AGRC, but it's on a similar price. But what I say is that what AGRC offers to its members is a lot more. There's a lot of additional activities, webinars, all the event conferences. I mean, you can complete your CPD, your continuous professional development needs and your records and whatever requirements you have pretty much for free just by being a member of AGRC. So many different things that are happening that you can choose to do. So these are the things that I will say about the difference.
Very important. Thank you very much.
I mean, also to add, I mean, in terms of the content itself, I mean, yes, we are more affordable and we do hand out discounts, but that's without sacrificing whatsoever in terms of the high quality content and the coverage and how comprehensive the programs are. So
And I would add that I think the thing that most distinguishes maybe the AGRC from other organization is that you are a non-profit organization, basically,
Yes.
dedicated to spreading the compliance word worldwide. So I think this is why it enables you to give more discounts and be more flexible price-wise, because it's not only about the money. I think we've seen Mario's other global organizations that are very, very expensive, and you don't get as much, and it's really it's not commensurate. So anyway, I would definitely recommend it. If you have other questions, Hebrew, English, that would be the time. I see everything is quite clear. We will send over this presentation to all of our webinars participants, and with the link to the training zone. And every one of you who wishes to use the discount, the 20% discount, so just email me back, and we will assign it to you. And thank you guys very much, Matteo and Marius.
Thank you.
Thank you. You want to add?
Do we say shalom to say bye? Shalom. Hi, bye, shalom.
Shalom is a multi-word in Israel. It means but you can say shalom. It's very nice. And thank you very much, Marius. Thank you very much, Matteo, for your time. It was great. And of course, this whole webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Mitigate Online Training Academy page, so you can watch it in your free time. That's it.
I wanted to say thank you as well, Edan. Thank you all. Thank you all for being here. I want to wish everyone in this room and everyone, of course, a great Passover, which is coming very soon. Relax, have a good time with your family as well, and let's look into the future later on. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
ביי ביי. תודה רבה לכולם. שיהיה לכם חג שמח.
חג שמח.
ונדבר אחרי החג. ביי ביי. Thank you.